Yo, what's up, homies? We're up here on one of the flags at our big ol' castle, and we are gonna finally, because, you know, we were supposed to last video, we're gonna finally get going on this campground back by our cabin in the woods and the waterfall and all that stuff that we've been talking about with the RVs and the tents and all that. So we've got to do a little bit of resource gathering while we're still here. We do have a shulker full of wool, but we're gonna need some other things. And then we're gonna hop on. Oh my goodness, they grew up. They are all full grown now. Look at that. But yeah, we're gonna hop on one of these bad boys and ride him all of the way back to wherever our cabin is, way off in that direction. And it's probably gonna take absolutely forever. So we might end up with a pretty early time lapse here in this video. I do have an idea of, you know, what I want it to look like. I just don't know if it's gonna work out that way, but you know, there's only one way to find out, right? So we're just gonna gather a couple more things. What are we gonna need? We have our wool in here. It should be in this one. But now that I'm thinking about it, is this enough wool? It really should be. If I need more than that, I've got issues. But I think actually, other than that, really anything else that we're gonna need, I should have over there already, or glass, which is right here. And then, you know, just other stuff in the ender chest, which we do have a new one after breaking it last video. So I think we actually might be ready to just head on over there. So why don't we just go hop on a Ghast and we'll get riding. This could potentially take us hours to get over there, so we'll see. But of course, first we had to deck out our two other Ghasts with their nice harnesses. So I think we just gotta pick one and get going in that direction. Yay! And here we are, just under a half an hour later, with distant horizons struggling to make it look good, but we have made it to the cabin just before nightfall. How about that timing? So I think what we're going to do is try and hop off of him right about here, get a lead on him, and we're just going to tie him right to the dock with our boat for now, and sleep through the night and get rid of this rain. So we made it, and we've got a happy Ghast here, and we could have made that quite a bit easier by just, you know, growing him up here rather than flying that whole trip. That was, yeah, that was a lot. But we're here now, and we're gonna leave that fella over there for the time being, and let's head over to the Oaks to see just how much land clearing we're gonna have to do, because I think there's, you know, quite a few trees. Yeah, there's a lot of trees here, and I think we might just take them all down so that we have, like, you know, a fresh slate to get going on all this. So let's start tearing some trees down. And the trees are but a distant memory, but we have quite a bit of room. And, you know, while I was taking the trees down, I was kind of coming up with some ideas in my little brain here, and I think I've cleared out the exact area that I was hoping. I might go a little further that way, like maybe we'll do something down on that cliff eventually, but for now, this is going to be the area right up to the tree line where the spruce are. And then it is going to extend this way also, which I just realized I didn't take enough trees out because the road is going to be coming in right through here into the campground. So we'll have to do a little bit of tearing down a little further and building a road, or the start of a road, because who knows just how far we're gonna make it go today. Maybe even we'll just kind of come right around here and right across here to this side. Yeah, I think we could do that. A little bridge right there. Now that I think about it, that is a really cool idea. A bridge into the campground over here. So I just went and harvested quite a bit of dirt in these shulker boxes here and some sunflowers on accident. And I think we're going to start doing a little bit of terraforming down here, making this thing look a little better and getting the landscape that we want before we start actually building roads and RVs and stuff. But it's getting a little dark, so we gotta sleep first. So let's get to changing some of this landscape a bit. I guess first we should probably get out a shulker full of grass or something. And I think the first thing that I want to do is kind of like clean up this edge just a little bit. Like kind of make it, run this way, kind of like this, and then into this curve, this natural curve it's got going on. There, a little something like that. But actually, I think I want to cut it back. A little bit indecisive with this one, but then that way when we get over here a little bit further, we can kind of bring it out a little bit this way, and then we're gonna kind of work on trying to get a little bit of a cliff over here on the edge, like overlooking the water. This is gonna be like the big VIP plot where you can come camp. So we used pretty much all of our dirt and had to go, harvest some more since, that took a little bit more than anticipated, but we did get this first campsite pretty much set, and obviously this around here, actually, I think we may just do like a modern retaining wall using like stone bricks or tough bricks or brick variants and, kind of build a nice retaining wall here, cut this down a little lower so it's a tall retaining wall, and then maybe even extend it out this way a little bit further, kind of square it off a little, maybe even round it out a little bit further, I don't know. But this is going to be the general layout of it, and then over here we had a little bit of a depression, so I filled it in and made a small, like, catch pool type thing. And I'm debating, I think I might cut this out and put another little pond right in this area so that there's like, when you're up here, you're kind of surrounded by water, over here will be a nice little pond marsh thing, and then you got the big ocean and river over here on this side. I think that might look pretty cool, so let's get digging and give that a little bit of a try, why don't we? So maybe we'll do a little something just like this, and leave it nice and shallow, just like another little runoff type thing, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it, maybe not. And I'm now, unfortunately, leaning towards maybe not, because I just kind of had a little bit of a thought. You guys can let me know if I'm crazy or not. Spoiler alert, I am definitely crazy. But I've got a new funky idea for in here. So what if... I can't believe I'm about to say this out loud. What if I cut in like a canyon right here, and then right in this spot, there was a waterfall that, it starts at our pond up there, comes this way, and there's a slight waterfall that drops down into, I don't know, however many blocks down it would be. But there would essentially be like a water hole here for like cliff jumping and maybe a rope swing with a big tree hanging over it. And then a small canyon leading this way out into the river. It would kind of split the campground in half. Maybe like over here we could do RVs, and then this side a couple RVs, but a lot of tents like up and around the edge of it and all that. And obviously there would need to be another bridge going over said canyon, but I feel like that might be kind of a cool idea. Am I crazy? Is this a terrible idea? Do I want to do this? Oh man. You know what? Let's do it. It's going to be different. It's going to be cool. Let's set up our beacon that I already grabbed because I was so confident in doing this. All right, the beacon is set up, and I cannot believe that I am deciding to do this, but let's get to digging, I guess. And here we are literally on the other side of the canyon that we just dug, and I think it's looking pretty solid, actually. I mean, it's exactly what I was looking for. So we just got to do all the detail work inside the canyon, and obviously bring the water down from our pond and run it down here. Probably run a little trickle down into this area too, but run it down here and build another waterfall. But yeah, the canyon is looking canyony. So now we just got to figure out how to make this into like a cliff jumping spot and make it deep enough to be a cliff jumping spot, I should say. So let's actually do that right now. We'll bring this down another few layers. All right, so we've dug it out a little bit more. I think we'll probably go down, just another couple layers just to make it, look a little bit more rounded, I again can't think of what this would be called at the bottom of a waterfall. Yep. All right, so we got our whatever you would call this hole at the bottom of a waterfall pretty much dug out to where I think it needs to be. It's down a few layers. Oh boy, I'm kind of just realizing how much work this is, and then we still have to do a campground. This is becoming quite the project. But let's get to my favorite part. Let's get to detailing. And detailing we did, other than the pit. We haven't really messed with that just yet. But the canyon is detailed, and it's looking pretty spectacular. I'm very happy with this. So once we get the pit done down there, we can put some water in here, and that ought to be fun, dealing with all of these slabs. And oh my goodness, what have I done? And now we've got to focus our attention on this and come up with a waterfall. I think for this one we might do the opposite of that fancy one that we got going over there that's kind of an overhang. For this one, I'm thinking I may just cut this back at like a slight angle so that it's kind of got like a couple drops on the waterfall, and then we'll make a cliff up here somewhere so you can run and jump off into the pit down here. And now that you know my ideas, let's see just how close we can get to what I'm envisioning. Yeah, I guess we'll just keep trucking along, and this time lapse is going to be pretty extreme once we get there. I mean, we got this. We're going to have the campground. Holy moly. This is turning out to be quite the video. So let's keep on going. And keep on going we did. We have a waterfall, and we have a cliff jumping area. We just didn't do any trees yet, but you know, trees will come eventually. But yes, so we've got our waterfall. We've got a little path leading down and up from the water. We have a very low jumping point right here. And then up here on the other side, where I still haven't made a way to get up here, it might just be the bridge that crosses right here. You might just have to go up over there and around and over here. But yeah, so over here we have a medium height jump that you can leap off of. And then there's going to be a path going up this way. And this is going to be the high spot where you can jump and pull a 360 no scope right on your homies. And yeah, this is the waterfall and the cliff jumping and all of that. It should be fun once it's all complete with trees and everything, but it already looks pretty good. You got a log, you know, drift log over there just sitting there with a little bit of moss on it. I think it came out pretty cool. So now I want to get working on this bridge, and I cleared a little bit of an area out over there so that we could just go straight across rather than going diagonal and trying to step it up a block. That would be a little bit of a pain. So for the roadbed itself, we're just going to use regular good old stone because it'll kind of match up with the gravel, which will be most of the rest of the roads around here, I think. So I've got the roadbed in, and now I'm kind of thinking I kind of want to do like a little bit less of an angle, you know, like if this makes sense. Kind of like this instead, and then this way will obviously have to be edited as well so that it comes across at a little bit of like not a perfect 45. It's going to be a little bit different. So I think we will go with that. And then up top here, let's see. Let's just do, or I'm going to try this design that I saw on Reddit. Who knows when that was. But it was essentially like block and then trapdoor, and then I think it was wood and then trapdoor. And I think it just kind of alternated like this. And I liked how that looked. So I think we may try that, and it's not going to work out too well. So maybe we'll nix the wood part of it and just do stone and then trap doors. I think we might do that. And there we have it. That is the span for the bridge. But now underneath we need to do a little bit of decorating to make it look good. So I think what we will do is have some supports coming down made out of stone brick. And then now that we got this set, I think I'm going to cover the whole bottom side in stone brick slabs just so that it doesn't look like the roadway is just kind of hanging out under here. Make it look like it's got some sort of structure down here. And here we go. This is what the underside is going to look like. And then this is the bridge. This is what we got. I think, actually, hold on just a moment. I think it needs a few lanterns hanging out over here. So let's just do this on every other, and it is pretty much done. That's our bridge. Actually, I really like that. That's a decent looking bridge. And now, I don't even know what I'm going to do next, but we have a lot of work to do. So I think we are going to start the time lapse right about here. And yeah, just pick something. I don't know what, but we're gonna pick something and go with it. So let's go. We have finally completed this campground, and boy, was it a little bit more work than I was anticipating. There's kind of a lot over there. So, oh, hey, Steve, what's going on? So I think we got to get over there and, start this walkthrough because, oh, I completely forgot we're now Santa Wit because it's December and it's the holiday season, and I love this skin. So we're going to be using this one and maybe another winter-themed one. But for now, we're Santa Wit, so let's get on over there and start checking out all of these features that we got in our campground over here. And first is, of course, going to be our entry bridge because we do have to enter the campground. So why don't we just use our bridge? Quite a few changes were made to this thing. I mean, I got rid of the legs and just put some riprap on the banks underneath it, and it's kind of just a span now with some details on it. Went for, of course, stone brick and mossy stone brick and the tough brick. And this is where the road ends. We kind of didn't go any further because, that'll be for another build. Maybe our next build will be that farmhouse over here. But yeah, we've got our entry bridge. We've got all of these giant oak trees that I so meticulously was building. If it wasn't good enough, I was taking it down and redoing it. So I'm happy that a lot of these worked out. But of course, we've just got trees and greenery everywhere, and this was kind of like a rock thing that I decided to try. I don't know if it worked. Maybe it did, maybe not. And then we get in just a bit further, and we've got our car. So cars are hard. And you'll see this once we get over to the truck, which might be like 10 times worse than this thing. So just give me a break on that. It was tough. But yeah, we've got a car parked over here in the parking lot in front of our registration office. So let's get in here and check it out. I'm still pretty happy actually with how the mangrove, the mango. Okay, sorry. The mangrove. What was I saying? Oh, I'm happy with how the mangrove looks with whatever wood this is. I can't even think straight. That was Steve, don't laugh at me, bro. Okay, anyways, let's go inside. Oh, hey, look at here. We got a wandering trader giving us a book. Maybe it's a pamphlet of like what we can do around the area, but Steve, we got a door over here and I even left it open for you. All right, I'm just going to close that then. But yeah, we switched windows. Wow, this is going horribly. Over here we have, this is pretty much just like a travel information or an area information. Like we got the campground and then all the surrounding area. So, you know, maybe one of these books tells people about our abandoned railway or the waterfall or the cabin in the woods, or maybe our pond. I forgot about the pond as well. But yeah, this is pretty much just like travel information about the area. And this room I ended up turning into a storage room because I was going to do an office, but it felt a little bit small, and I don't know if we really need an office in this thing. Oh, and you know what? Just a quick little plug. A lot of this stuff in the campground we did build on stream, so, you know, go follow over there and come hang out. We have a good time over there. But anyways, we go a little bit further this way, and I think we'll go over here first. We've got one tent over here. This is the only tent that we built, and I kind of can't believe it, but we've got a tent over here with a fire next to like a little, I guess you would call that cave, a mini cave. Oh, I just remembered that we got our mini blocks working again. So let me just grab a couple of these to throw next to the fire. We'll give some people some seats by the fire. Don't like that. That needs to change. And there we go. We've got some seats around the fire and Steve is thrilled. But back to the tour. Our tent over here, we've got some storage and, you know, a little throw rug and a bed, of course, but it's just a raw tent. There's no, you know, mosquito nets or walls or anything. You're just out here in the elements if you're sleeping in this tent at plot 1. Oh, just kidding, plot 2. I forgot plot 1 was reserved for our first RV that we built. And I think next we'll head down to our beach. We had to give the patrons a little beach down here, so they got a little beach. I mean, it's quite little, but this is all the room we had. We had to do a bunch of excavation, as you probably saw in the time lapse. And yeah, we've just got, you know, a simple little fire pit down here. We've got some towels to lay under an umbrella on the beach. We've got a fishing pier, a fishing dock, I guess you would call this. And of course a boat if you want to go out boating across the ocean to the ice spikes that are way over there. And this is supposed to be a sand castle. So yeah, bear with me on that one. We gave it a try and we left it. Yeah, so yeah, sandcastle. That's a sandcastle. So now we'll head back up, and now we're gonna go check out our first of 2 RVs that we built over here in this campground. And of course, it's a campground. We had to have a fire pit with some seats around it. But anyways, over here we've got our small, it's kind of like a mini RV. It's not one of the huge ones, but it's got the extending awning with some legs to keep it up, and of course a picnic table of sorts. I kind of actually really like this look for a table with, you know, the shelves on the sides. And then of course inside, where Steve apparently wants to go, is very, very tight quarters, but we have our 2 pilot seats up here. This is the driver's seat, of course, and I tried to sit in the driver's seat, and I forgot to lock the armor stand, so I took the ender pearl and threw it, and didn't go anywhere. So now we don't have a steering wheel, so yeah, this thing ain't going anywhere. But back down here, we've got a couch with, maybe this is a TV on the entertainment center. And then over here, we've just got a bed under some storage with some more storage up here and a squid plushie. I got a squid head, and I decided that it kind of does look cool sitting there. So yeah, it's just little squid plushie thing. But yeah, this is the interior of our first RV, so let's continue. And oh, I almost forgot. We have a furnace out here, or I don't know, what would you even call this? I can't think of it. An outdoor stove? I don't know. But yeah, this is essentially a blacktop griddle, and then in here you can cook things too. But yeah, this is our little outdoor cookery. I think it came out kind of neat. So yeah, anyways, now we'll go across the road yet again to a volleyball net that I kind of don't like. It really bothers me that I can't attach, you know, iron bars to like fence posts. I feel like fences would have looked a little bit better than stone brick pillars, but gotta make do with what we have. I guess it's really not that bad. I mean, it's a proper height. Oh, I can't jump in this game. I could jump way higher IRL. And then over here, of course, we have our truck that I absolutely despise. It doesn't look that bad from the side, I guess. I mean, it looks like a truck. Luckily, the truck is not the focal point of this area because this is our trailhead. And this, if you head through here, leads to Rise Pond and the abandoned shack. If you want to go check those out, you just go through this. I love how this forest came out. Oh my goodness. This looks incredible, actually. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, you'll just head up this way and through the woods until you reach... Oh, I actually forgot to detail the rest of the path up here. That's something I'll have to get on. But yeah, you get over here and then you can go right to Rise Pond or left to the abandoned railway. Wow, I can't believe I forgot to detail this area. What an idiot! So anyways, back down through here, we'll go back into the parking lot. But over here first, we have a little walkway down to a little rock that you could jump off of into our... One of these days, I'm going to figure out what that is called down there, but we'll just keep calling it a catch pool. But yeah, you could jump off here into there. You can also jump off over there and up there. And then this is where you get out. We've got a little path leading right out of the water up here and back up to the main area. And of course, as you could see, we did all of these big oak trees all around here. Some big spruce, some little spruce. I mean, it's pretty heavily wooded for being a campground, and I think it's like the proper amount of wood. But I've always loved these big oak trees. That's why I kind of just use them rather than making my own. Is it lazy? Sure, it might be lazy, but they do look good. So, you know, leave me alone. But anyways, this is our second bridge, which goes over the canyon. And that is, of course, from the waterfall. And then we come up our road a bit further. Oh, actually, let's go out here. I didn't make a path. I kind of just left this one, you know, a little bit wild, but this is the high spot that you can jump off of. And then back down here, we have our second little pond right there next to the road. So if we come up here a little further, we have just a little lean-to. It's kind of like just a little fishing lean-to type thing, you know, got a bed in it, got some storage, got a little tiny chest right next to it. I love that. I'm happy you can make that into a little block. Oh, and the barrel. Oh, I love both of them. But yeah, just a small dock here to go fishing off of. I don't know if there's fish in here. It's pretty much just a runoff from the mountain, I guess. But hey, who knows? Maybe there's fish in there. Then if we continue down the drive just a bit further, we come to the final area. And we've got the bonfire up here just on top of where the canyon is right here. Just a huge bonfire going on. But the real focal point of up here is, of course, the fifth wheel RV. And I forgot to build the truck that tows this thing. Yeah, so that was an oops, but please don't unsubscribe. Maybe I'll build that on stream, whenever I stream again. But okay, anyways, this is our bigger RV. So of course we've got another table out here and another fire pit because, you know, we're camping. You gotta have this stuff if we're camping. But inside is a little bit different because it's a little bit bigger. So we've got a kitchen with a sink and a faucet and, you know, some countertops, a whole bunch of storage up here, and up here is where the beds are. A nice looking couch. You know what? I'm gonna sit on this couch and look around for a little bit. And it actually kind of does look cool if you're sitting here. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, we got, down here, we've got a table and then another couch with maybe this is another TV up here. I don't know. We're innovating in here. We're improvisation. But yeah, the interior, I didn't really know what to do with this area or that back wall. So I kind of left it for the time being. I don't know. Maybe I'll put like a painting there or something. Who knows? And then the last thing really is where Steve's going. Oh, never mind. He's going that way. But over here, we got a little dirt path leading out to a nice bench, which I can't sit on because they aren't slabs. But if you sit here, you kind of just got a nice view of everything. I mean, that's the open ocean. There's going to be a nice farmhouse over here with a farm. I guess we should probably do something up there as well. I mean, that That could be kind of cool. When I said earlier that this was a lot of work, holy moly, was this a lot of work. I was worried that I was going to get this done in 3 weeks, let alone 2. I mean, I'm happy I did, but whew, boy. And Fresh Animations is working again, so we've got Steve wagging his tail, as well as, I don't know if we could see it from way over here, but the cows walk all better now. Ooh, okay, well, he's in slow motion. All right, sorry about that. Oh, all right, I deserved that. I deserved it. But yeah, I think that is just about it for our campground. And oh yeah, we built this forest over here too. I love how these forests came out with the big oak trees and the smaller spruce trees mixed in. Oh, God, I love it so much. I don't know what we're going to get into next. It's probably going to be that farmhouse across the river or something nearby maybe. Or we might build something back at the castle because we haven't been there in quite a while. But yeah, that's it for here. So, you know, thank you guys so much for watching as usual. I hope you enjoyed this because this was a lot of fun to build, and streaming it on Twitch was a lot of fun, hanging out with people and building at the same time. It was just a blast. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for the continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and share this with somebody who loves Santa Claus, because I'm Santa all of a sudden. But we'll see you next time, so bye. Yo, oh, oh.